My name is Irena Swanson, and today I want to show you how to make rows of pinwheel blocks very efficiently and accurately using the method that I call tube piecing. You have choices over color, over the number of blocks per row, 12, 4, 11, or even singletons, and you have a choice over the size of the blocks. Pinwheels in general come with two different rotations. Compare this rotation to that one, and my method makes you do both kinds. You cannot avoid the other. In this one color scheme, it is possible to avoid having two different kinds. Namely, before you sew this last seam, you undo the top squares, and then the two rows should be sewn together in the other order, and you'll get exactly this the same rotation as these. But in this scheme, red-blue scheme, there's no easy way to change the other rotation into your desired rotation. But that's okay, because there is no faster method of making pinwheel blocks other than this. For example, these 8 rows with 11 pinwheels each were made with exactly 61 seams. This together was made with 64 seams. So you might as well use this fast method and you have leftovers for a twin mirror image quilt. Okay, so let's get started. You will need strips cut selvage to selvage, and here I cut my strips at 4 inches wide. I will comment on the sizes a little bit later. And here I have 4 lights, 4 darks, and you want to offset them down 3.5 inches. Okay? And you have 4 and 4 here, and then you need a mirror image construction also. So here the 45 degrees going this angle, and here the 45 degrees going at this length. Then once you have these sewn, you press all seam allowances either all towards the dark fabrics or all in one direction, it doesn't matter. And once you have them all pressed, then you make accurate 45-degree angle cuts, and I already did it at the other end. You're looking at the back side. And now you want to sew the 2 outside edges together. It's a straight seam, but there will be a little bit of twisting, and you will get what I call a primary wide tube. It's the first tube that appears here. So here is the primary wide tube obtained from the first type of sewing, and here it is from the second construction. Slants are different. And then these primary wide tubes get cut into primary narrow tubes, in this case at 4 15/16 of an inch, for example like this. And you can sew these together maybe like this, so you can get some zigzag designs. That would be different from pinwheels. For pinwheels, we want to match lights to darks, darks to lights. And the other thing is that if for much easier sewing, here the seam allowances I pressed all in one direction, they're all going down. So here right now they're all going down, but if I rotate, now they're going up, so it will be much easier to sew strips like this together. Okay, so we have to take pairs of these primary narrow tubes and sew them together. You can think of them as V's or maybe upside down V's. However you think of them, for all the pairs, you will need an even number of these pairs. In all the pairs for all the color schemes that you want, you make sure that in the left tube, either you always have seam allowances going down or always have them go up. It's up to you which one. Well, unless if you pressed everything towards the darks, then you don't have to worry about this. here is 4 colors sewn together. So these are just the first of each pair sewn together. And you should be able to start seeing half of pinwheels here. Okay, so half of a row of pinwheels, and we need to make its match. So here is its match. All right. So don't put them together like this. You put them together like that, and you can start to see a pinwheel, a pinwheel, a pinwheel here, and there's also this very bright red pinwheel. Right? So this will also tell you where you have to cut across to create rows. So you cut across both on this tube and on that tube. Make sure that the colors match appropriately, they're opposite each other. And down here on the table, I already have the cuts made through that secondary wide tube. So the middle ones, these are cuts from that secondary tube, here are cuts from that one, and if I put the 2 middle ones together, voila, I get a row of pinwheels. And I'll put this row up here. So just 1 extra seam gives us a row of 4 pinwheels. And then we take the next cuts from the 2 rectangles, put those together, and we get 4 more pinwheels. And notice that these pinwheels here rotate differently from those pinwheels. So you keep going in this way, you create lots of rows of pinwheels very fast. All right. Now I want to comment on the choices of fabric strips and so on. So if you have some desired base B of finish size B here, then the strip width should be B divided by square root of 2 plus a half an inch. And the tube width should be B plus a half an inch, no multiplication by square root of 2. Now if you just do a random thing like I did, then you may not get an even number of strips. You really want an even number of primary narrow tubes. So you can do some calculation ahead of time, and the formula is you take the length of your strips, multiply by square root of 2, subtract your desired finished width B here, and divide by twice the tube width. And remember, tube width is B plus half an inch. Okay. So you want this L times square root of 2 minus B divided by 2T to be an even number plus a little bit. That will make for very little waste in your project. I don't mind a little waste. In fact, nothing in my house gets wasted. So from my so-called waste, I created this 39 by 75 inch quilt top with exactly 15 inch total. So even if you have a little bit of waste, that's all for the better. Anyway, if you want to know more about tube piecing, please visit my www.tubepiecing.com.